Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Glitch Pokemon Yellow. Today, I'm going to be doing some fancy things with WSM. For starters, this is immediately after the last episode, episode 22, and that is because you actually get 31 WSMs from encountering all the glitch Pokemon. As you can see here, I have 2, and the reason why is I deposited one into the PC, because I had realized that it gave me 30 extra WSMs, and since it's a key item, I can't get rid of it. There's no way to getting rid of WSM, and even when I put it into the PC, I can't tell how it happened. I should test it more, but basically I got soft locked into trying to toss the item, and so I don't know if some type of corruption happened along the way, but I don't know if it was just like putting so many WSMs in there or accidentally using it at some point, but it totally corrupted the game, and I was stuck. I could not get out. So yeah, be wary of that. And what's useful is I have another script here for you. It's really simple and easy to get to. This is Bubble Beam. The reason why I told you to keep your TMs is for this exact reason. You'll need it for stuff like this. But one thing that's nice is you can use the glitch I showed in part 18 to get TM11 Bubble Beam, which you get from Misty. And then TM01 you can buy. So what's cool about the script I have set up here is you can see if I press this, it changes the item in the second slot, which is actually 30 of what's in there right now. So you'll see I have 30 of 11F, which is pretty funny. So what's nice about this is I have free range basically all the glitch items and everything in that slot basically. And to keep using this, I'm going to actually make my way to the item I want to get. So I'll see you guys there in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm not to the item that I want. You can see here I have nuggets. But I actually forgot to mention that if I were to toss this and get 52 in this script, it would actually allow me to go in reverse order and go up, because we're actually going down in the index numbers right now. So we're actually heading towards items that we normally get, as you can see. But if I had 52 instead of 53, I'd actually be going up towards more glitch items. And I'm going to be cutting and showing various of them in battles, as I set out how to do, and this is the episode for that as well. And I'm going to show you a couple other things you can do, something really cool that happens with this next item, and I'll cut back to that once I'm in battle, and I'll show you. Okay, I'm back here with no cheating device. It's important to show. I'm always going to show that, but you should know now that I really don't need to. All this is found within the game. You can do without a cheating device. Anyway, so you can see here, I actually have a Safari Ball here, which is pretty cool. It does exist in the game, and you can actually use it in battle. The first time I used it, I actually caught the Pokemon first try. So you can see here, I have 52, as I mentioned last time. So if I use WSM, which actually skips your turn when you're in battle, it will move me up, and I get the Pokedex. Now this is cool. The Pokedex was originally an item that would just be in your item bag, opposed to being like part of the start menu. So you can use it like normal, whatnot. When you leave, you get this, which just looks so cool. And I love like how the grass looks, and like where Fearow and Pidgey are, it's like brown, the color of them, and then like you can see that CLLM, it's like the health bar, and like you can watch here. Hopefully I can hit, since even though it hit me with freaking sand attack like 3 times, but you can see here it scribbles the sprite, and it changes the characters, like corresponds to like what should be there, and it's just really interesting. Like I love how it does that. You can like see what's going on behind what's actually there, kind of roughly, not quite, but yeah. Since it's kind of an oversight, since you shouldn't have the Pokédex in your bag normally. You can see the color slightly changes for the Rattata. Oh, apparently using the Pokédex uses your turn. Makes sense. But yeah, you can see there, kind of like it's dependent on like what's there, the color, and then I guess the sprite per se. That's kind of strange to me. But you can see like even in my health bar here, Fearow's, it changed. And I think it's just really cool. You can kind of get an idea like what's behind the scenes. Roughly. I'm sure there's more to it than this, but it's kind of interesting to me. So I'm basically just going to be cutting to every item that I find interesting in battle, so I'll see you for the next one. Okay, I'm back here with a mysterious no-name item, but you can see here if I use it, I just leave battle. There's nothing there. And then, what's interesting is this, it's a blob item here, and if I use it, it does that flashbang effect, and as you can see, Pikachu kind of stood there for a second. What's interesting is this is the original flashbang item that I was talking about. It's also, I think, VGTM that we saw in part 18 that did something similar to this. But it doesn't let you leave battle like this one does. Now something kind of eerie here that I think is kind of cool. If I walk back on the route, Pikachu like appears behind me but then stays there. because, like I said, it makes Pikachu act really weird like he got stunned. So I like calling it the flashbang item for some reason. It's just some weird blob. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat that you can just use it to like escape battle. It's not really I don't want to say oh yeah, I forgot to mention actually, it kind of makes it hard to encounter Pokemon. I don't even know if you can, but what's interesting, I think flying lets you encounter Pokemon again. It's kind of strange, but like, let's see here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, so you can encounter Pokemon again, but if you use it, you can just flat out leave the battle, and then you just don't find Pokemon anymore after that, typically. So I guess it's a decent item to hang on to if you don't want to encounter Pokemon for some reason, but that's about all with this one, so I'm going to move on to the next one. So the next glitch item we have might look really familiar to most people. It's LGL, or just LG, I guess. But it does some really interesting things when you use it in battle. A lot of items, a lot of the effects I got actually do things similar to LGL. Like you'll get this type of effect, but usually the game will crash by now. As you can hear, the battle music's still playing, but if I press the start menu and open up, and there was one time I had a white screen when I did this, so sometimes it may not work. But if you close out, you actually get released back into the overworld with battle music, and the grass is still there, as you can see. And it just kind of like leaves the battle similar to the last one, but in a different fashion. And obviously it doesn't disable the wild Pokemon. I'm not really sure how that works with the last item, where it just like completely disables wild encounters. One item that I'm going to show off is it's basically a repel. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so now we got this weird effect. What's cool, you can like get some weird sounds and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure if you want to stop this and if you get stuck, you can just fly. It's pretty easy. There's actually one more thing I'm hoping to show off. I got to work. Doing it here. Well, I have to be in the grass, right? We'll go right here. Hopefully this will work. Gotta find a wild Pokemon though. There we go. Use the LGL again. Speed up. Really hope I can get this to work, because it was actually kind of cool. But like, the sound of jumping over ledges is really cool. And, like bumping in the walls too. It makes it sound like it's 8-bit or something. like one of those really old games that have like poor sound effects, and then they just use little weird noises like that. But I think it's just really neat, and you can kind of see how the world's shaped. Like you can see the boundaries. It just really corrupts everything. It's pretty neat. But that's about all for LGL that I have found, so we're gonna move on. Okay, I'm back. There wasn't an effect that I wanted to show off. Oh jeez. Yeah, so some items, this one in particular, if you mess around with it a little bit, you can kind of just like create an artificial glitch city. And it's doing this weird thing. So if I reset here, I really don't know how I got that to work, but as you can see, it's already there to begin with because I was messing around with it a little bit. But that's just something to watch out for, that sometimes items can cause weird effects like that. They'll I love the random cry. It just creates some weird effects like that, and you can fix it by flying away. Not much else to that really besides that. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. Alright, so the next glitch item we have is Blue Pokédollar. What's interesting about that is it's a Pokeball, and you can actually use it. I don't know what type of Pokeball. As you saw there, it almost caught the Pidgey. I don't know if it's like a Great Ball, Ultra Ball. It could even just be a Pokeball, who knows. But it could even be like a Safari Ball. I'm not really sure. But something interesting that crossed my mind is, you know how in the newer games, it shows like what the Pokemon was caught with? Like the Pokeball? So I wonder if like in this game that applies too, like especially if you were to use this in the virtual console, and if you were to catch a Pokemon with, you know, like a blue Pokédollar, for example, like what ball would it would be? Because like I'm assuming that like if you transfer it in like, you know, from here to Generation 6 or something, I wonder if you can get away with seeing what it was in, or if it just defaults to Pokeball. And I don't remember if in Generation 2 if it distinguishes what ball the Pokemon was caught with. I know that started for sure in Generation 3. But I don't know about any like in Generation 2, or even if you were like, I don't know much about the Poke Transport or whatnot. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one anyway. So we have our next one here, trade completed, and you can see that I've been using some of these because we started with 30. What's cool about this? It's actually a healing item, and I believe it heals to a total of 8 HP, which I have no idea why. It seems like such a vague number, but it's interesting to show what it does outside battle, because you might remember this from the one video. It was mostly, I think, part 19 that had a lot of this, where you'd have this effect. But it appears that these type of items can be used in battle, and they're mostly healing items, because there's actually a lot that you can do that have similar effects to this. But that's about all for trade completed, so I'm going to move on now. Okay, now we have this item, Q4HVG, which you might remember from like part 18 in the Celadon looping map. It only goes in part 18, I think it goes part 19 is when we got to this one. But as you can see, it's actually kind of like a repel, because you can use it on repeat, which isn't like a repel, but it doesn't seem to have any Pokemon show up after using it. Just to kind of reinforce that, I don't think we can even use it in battle. You'll see here, I'll try and use it, and I can't use it, so it's kind of interesting. And yeah, I believe the next item I needed, well, let's just use this. So you can see there, it kind of showed something similar to what LGL does, but it doesn't quite work. But now I'm going to move on to the next one, so I'll see you guys there. Okay, now we have blue here as our item. What's interesting about blue is we use it, and we just leave battle. And it makes me think it's a, like a Pokédoll, because it doesn't have any like lasting effects. It seems to be a clean like escape from battle, unlike that one that kind of has side effects, the blob item I like to call it. It didn't really have a name in battle, but yeah, it seems like blue is quite literally just a, whoa, okay. I don't remember if the Pokédoll makes noise like that. I don't know if you heard that. I'm gonna be quiet here and turn up the sound a little bit. Maybe it was a mix between the battle music, but it sounded a bit different than usual. I wasn't sure. I don't know if like the music glitched out. I'll look back in the recording just in case, because that was actually really interesting. I hadn't heard that before. But I actually have one more item after this. I'm going to show you that, and then maybe one more thing after that. So, be right back. Okay, now we have this item, which is really, really goofy in my opinion, because you'll see here, if I use it, but then nothing happens. And that's it. So like it basically wastes your turn, because you use it and nothing happens. I think it's just kind of ironic that like what the heck is that? You're just supposed to use it and then nothing happens? And usually the nothing happens comes up when you use a move. Like you'll like use like splash or something and it says nothing happened, or I'm assuming if like you use like leer or growl, it'll say like nothing happened once it maxes out. So I don't quite understand why that happens, but that's like one of the only items that does that. It's this one. It looks different in battle, which is interesting. So now the next thing I'm going to show, I'm actually going to have to switch to a different state, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. It's basically the beginning of the video. Again, I didn't really do anything. But what's interesting is how powerful this glitch can be, in my opinion, and how useful it can be as well, because you're limited on box space in the PC. And one of the most annoying things is having an endless supply of TMs in there that you need to do these scripts. But with this method, you can basically use it to like transform items. It's really simple. Is just to keep a stockpile of TM11s in your box, so that way you can add one whenever you want, if you want to go back. Like if you get rid of this and you want to go up an index number, you can do that. But if you want to go down, you just remove it and you can put it back in the PC even. And that's nice, instead of tossing it, which is actually a much smarter idea, and now I think about it. But what's nice, and you can just like, let's say you have an old rod you don't want. That's actually a bad example, honestly, because the old rod can be kind of useful. But the lift key is a perfect one that I had skipped over. Item finder. I'd say the one that I had in mind was something like the lift key or the secret key, which I guess you kind of need to go into the gym, the 7th gym anyway. And the card key. There's the coin that I was trying to find and I had trouble at one point. See if I can find it here. I don't know why it's giving me such much trouble. It doesn't really matter. I know it's back here somewhere. It better be. There it is. But yeah, so like if you had the card key and I just, toss an item here, this just gives you an example. So like, instead of having WSM there and 30 of them, I would say I have my first card key that I got in the game. I can just switch it to a nugget, or I can even just get like a random glitch item by just sitting here clicking a few buttons. I feel like it's a bit more efficient than using Pokemon P. Especially since sometimes Pokemon P doesn't even change the item in your 5th slot, so it's not really reliable. I can even change this to get Master Balls if I wanted. If I wanted to have like a souvenir of like having a coin, which is pretty cool, because that's an item that you're not supposed to get at all in the game. Or you can get the gold teeth again. I wonder if you have the gold teeth again and go up to the warden if something weird happens. So I feel like you can use this to kind of experiment, but also like for making things really easy for yourself. It's like, oh, well, I want a Thunderstone, I don't want to buy one, so you can just transform into it. Or hey, you want Want another oaks parcel? Well, there you go. Wait, this isn't yours to use. I forgot about that. Item finder works. But yeah, it's just really cool that you can just get a huge variety of items just by doing this, and even more so of like you can, like, let's say I put, it's a good example. Like if I had, 90 potions in here, I can just easily transform those into rare candies, which I actually don't remember where it is. I thought it was around here, but clearly not because we have glitch items. But like you can basically just transform 90 potions into rare candies and then just repeat it. And it's so nice because like all you need is just to buy potions. You don't have to do Missingno in this game to get rare candies anymore. You can just use stuff like that. I need to do research on that. Maybe in the next video that I show, I'm gonna have like a corrections video coming up pretty soon to correct a lot of things I said in the past. And maybe I'll put that in there, saying like, oh, what item to use to like in this script to get like rare candies really easily. But that's about all for this part. So I'm gonna end it off just by showing 8F one more time and see what happens. Yeah, we just end up here. Nothing too special. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.